Hello and welcome to our next video. In this lesson, we're going to go ahead and get set up so that we can create our MVC projects. So go ahead and start up Visual Studio Community 2015. And the first thing we're going to do is make sure that we have everything we need installed. So we're going to go to Tools, Extensions and Updates. And this might take a moment to load. What we're going to do is look and see what's installed, and we see that we do have ASP.NET and Web Tools, as well as ASP.NET Web Frameworks and Tools, which does our ASP.NET 5 stuff, which we'll be using for the bulk of this course. Now, if you don't have these, what you would need to do is search over here online, and you can find things that you can add. Now, what's nice is it tells you what's installed. You notice that it's already installed, so we're good. But if you wanted to do something like Xamarin, for example, and you didn't install that earlier, you could do a search here and find the tools for Xamarin. You could go ahead and download and install those right into your IDE and start working with them right away. It looks like we have everything that we need already. Let's just verify real quick by trying to create a new project and make sure that we have the project setup that we need. So we see that we have a web ASP.NET web application, and I've created a folder on my directory CMSDev where we can do stuff. You should just create a location that makes sense for you. It may default to something like your user directory. I would recommend putting your project somewhere else, just so you have a common place for all of them. If you want to use your user directory, that's just fine. I'm just going to call this test. I'm not actually going to create it right now. I'm just going to see that I have the tools installed. And so we see that it does ask to create a directory for solution. I suggest leaving that checked. Adding to source control is important if you're going to be working against a Team Foundation server or some other source control system that you have integrated with your projects. But you can always do this after the fact. So I usually, in fact, I almost never have this checked. I can't remember a time that I have, because you can add to the source control later. So here we see our Visual Studio 2015 has all of the stuff that we need. We're going to be creating an ASP.NET 4.6.1 MVC application, which is the most common that's in production right now. In fact, the ASP.NET 5, which is going to be actually called ASP.NET Core now, is completely in release candidate, and it's changing so fast that right now to make a course on that would be pretty fruitless because things are going to change so much. And they're in release candidate 2 at the time of this recording. It should be released hopefully later in 2016 to a final candidate, but by the early 2017 for sure. So if you're watching this around that time frame, there may be different ways that you could do this, and especially if you wanted to do something on a Linux distribution, if you're looking for the ASP.NET Core, we're not going to cover that in this course right away. And so you would probably want to look at a different resource if you're looking for direct core type of interaction and find out how to work with the ASP.NET Core. So we have everything we need, and that verifies that we have all the tools installed. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just close this out, and this will complete our video. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.